Well, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. Today we are talking about the number one way nurses are creating real change, and it's not what you think. All right. So, as you pop in today, please feel free to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. But I think we all know the state of nursing, right? We have short staffing, we've got workplace violence, we've got all the things that are going on. We've got a lot of unsafe staffing assignments and just a lot of things that make being a nurse today much more challenging, I have to say, than it was when I began my career more than 30 years ago. So, and I think it's important that we kind of stare that in the face as well. But I want to talk with you about the one thing that I see that's going on that is stirring up a positive change. And so, what is that? It is that nurses are beginning to use their voices and beginning to unite. And truly, with almost 5 million nurses in the United States today, if we do truly unite, when we truly unite, our voices will be something that no one can ignore. All right. So this is really, really important. And I want to encourage you today to find your people. We're going to talk about some simple strategies that you can use to join communities that are doing this type of work and advocating for our profession in different ways. So find your people, seek people out who are advocating for nurses, for a better future for nursing. And there's a lot of different ways that this is going on. There are organizations like the Commission for Nurse Reimbursement and Nurses Transforming Healthcare. There's the Nurses Feed Their Young movement, and now the Thriving Nurse Network online peer support community. So there's a lot of ways that we can actually get active and begin to work toward creating a better future for nursing. We don't just need to sit on the sidelines, guys. We need to get involved and we need to make our voices heard. And the truth is, we are stronger in numbers. Stronger in numbers. It's always been the thing. So an action step for you today that I just want to share with you is, go ahead and check out our Thriving Nurse Network. We are an online peer support community for nurses, just launched a couple of days ago, and we're very excited about how things are going. I would love for you to check us out and be one of the very first 500 members that we have in our community. But, don't wait, because these spots will fill very quickly. The second thing that you can do is to use your voice, even when you're scared, right? Even when you're scared. If you stay in your comfort zone, I think there's an old quote that goes something like, a comfort zone is a great place to be, but nothing ever grows there. Okay. So when your voice shakes, when your voice quivers, when you're fearful to stand up for yourself or advocate or anything like that, I mean, let's face it, a lot of people are introverts. A lot of people are just shy in general. Most people say that they fear public speaking of any kind, almost worse than death itself. So it's kind of normal for us to fear speaking up. But I want to encourage you to use your voice, even when it quivers. Here's why. Nothing shows your strength any more than doing exactly that. No one shows exactly what a boss you are and how strong you are than stepping up and doing it anyway. So I want to encourage you this week, practice using your voice. Speak up when you can. And make your needs known, right? We don't need to suffer in silence, whether we have personal challenges or conflicts that we might be dealing with personal relationships or work relationships. None of us are called to suffer in silence. We were given a mouth with a purpose, and we're able to speak. So share your truth, speak your truth. That's all you're doing. And you just never know what great benefit is going to come from that. And you know what? Every time you do it, it's going to get easier and easier for you to speak up. All right. So another thing that we need to do is reject, this badge of honor that goes along with, working a 12-hour shift without taking a lunch or going to the bathroom. Just, forget it. That is a really, really old way of looking at things. And you know what? All you're hurting is yourself when you don't take a regular break, when you don't take a lunch break, when you don't allow yourself to go to the bathroom during your shift. So plan your self-care into your days and stop wearing this or considering this as a badge of honor, because it's truly not. It's truly a badge of burnout. And the nurses who do this are the ones who are going to burn out the quickest. So I want to encourage you, take your break off the unit. Okay, leave your unit, because there's nothing worse to me than being in the break room on the unit and somebody tapping on the door and saying, "Hey, Teresa, I know you're on your break, but yada, yada, yada," right? That's not respecting me and saying, "Hey, you're on your break." That's not it. So, take care of yourself, because there is no badge of honor in sacrificing your own well-being. Are you with me? All right. The next thing that you can do, these are the ways that nurses are changing and impacting healthcare today. And it's not what you think, is it? I told you it's not what you think. But I want to encourage you to build a career and don't just have a job. All right. Because here's what happens. Typically, what I see when nurses are choosing a role is that we make our choices based on what is the shift differential, what shift is it, maybe how close is it to my home, and what are the benefits like, and all these things. And I'm not saying those things are not important. What I would like you to learn to do first is flip the script on that a little bit and decide what lifestyle you want to live right now in this season of your life. So for instance, if you are maybe you have a young child, a newborn infant, right? What shift might work best for you? Everybody's probably got a different answer here based on, our own sleep patterns and our families and all that stuff. But what shift would work best for you to be able to accommodate what you need for your child? Do you see what I mean? I'm just asking you to do it a different way. So set your standard for the lifestyle that you want to live, and then build your nursing career around that. Design your career around that. And that's going to set you up for longevity. And isn't that just it's a simple spin on the way we've always done it, right? The way we've always done it. And the way we've always done it has not worked. It has never worked. It's been a problem ever since we've been doing it. So now's our time to dare to do nursing differently. The next thing that I want to share with you is that nurses today are stepping up and being part of the culture change. So all of these are ways that you can take action and become involved, but be a part of culture change. It is way overdue for nurses to step up and stop waiting for administration or any C-suite leaders to come down and clean up the culture on our units. It's not going to happen, okay? But every day I connect with nurses who are choosing to show up as the best versions of themselves in spite of short staffing, unsafe assignments, toxic nursing culture, all these things. One of the things I'll share with you here is somebody shared with me a long time ago this simple idea that a fish swims in the salty ocean, yet when we cook it and eat it, it needs salt. So even though the fish is surrounded by this highly saturated salt water, trust me, if you've ever opened your eyes in the saltwater ocean or Gulf or anything, you know how harsh that salt water can be. But so the fish lives in there, swims in there all its life, and then when we eat it, it's not salty. So somehow the fish exists in that harsh, salty environment without absorbing any of it. I want to just allow you to have a window to the idea that you can work in a toxic work environment and it doesn't have to become your standard. Are you with me? You can still show up and be you. You can choose to be you, practice at a high level of professionalism, communicate with people in a respectful way. Just because it's normal for other people doesn't mean it needs to rub off on you, right? So nurses are doing this every single day. I talk with them all the time. And so this is very, very exciting. Another way that you can be a part of culture change, I just want to share with you, Thriving Nurse Network. As I said, just launched a couple of days ago. Would love to have you among our first 500 members. We are filling our space right now, and it's super exciting. So I want to invite you to check that out, because it is through this positive community and connection that we can create and inspire each other and really give ourselves and each other the strength to continue. right? The strength to continue to advocate for a better future. I've always said we spend far too much time at work, not to at least have a decent time while we're there. That is my personal philosophy. So, this is not all of these things that I'm talking about. These are not just talk. And if they are just talk, then we are going to get nowhere. Nurses Eat Their Young culture has been around since long before I started nursing school more than 30 years ago, and it's still thriving today. So we must begin to transform the culture of our units from nurses eat their young culture to cultures where nurses feed their young so that we can sustain and support the nursing workforce. Okay. We've got to sustain the nursing workforce. And you know what? This is going to involve each and every single one of us as nurses. Each one of us is going to have to step up, offer solutions, show up as the best version of yourself, all of these things. So I want to invite you, check out Thriving Nurse Network. And also, we have a webinar. I have a webinar I'm hosting this week, and it is called Thriving in Nursing. It's called Thriving in Nursing, How to Take Control of Your Career and Move from Burnout to Balance, even if you're on the edge of burnout and thinking of leaving altogether. Okay, so this is a lot of stuff that I hear from nurses is that, oh my gosh, I'm just burnt out. I'm on my way out. I want to invite you. There's a link below this video. Please be sure and click the link. Join me for this webinar. I'm going to share some valuable insights with nurses and nursing leaders. Would love to connect with you there and get your feedback. So thanks for tuning in. I will chat with you soon. Bye.